Alright, so in case y'all didn't know, XXL, they finally released a list for the 2017 freshman class cipher thing or whatever. So before I get into it, man, I'm gonna run these names by y'all of just basically everybody who made it. So we got Kamaya, A Boogie with the Hoodie, PNB Rock, XXX Tentacion, Playboy Cardi, I think it's Maiden Toyo, Amine, Ugly God, Cap G, and Kyle. Alright, so first person on this list was Kamaya. A lot of people are actually mad that Kamaya is actually on this list. Honestly, I'm not. I feel like Kamaya should have made it last year because she had a mixtape called A Good Night in the Ghetto, and it was one of the best mixtapes that came out last year. She's been featured on a lot of songs, and I feel like more people know her most of her features than for her actual projects. And a lot of people felt like, you know what I'm saying, she should have been, Young M.A. should have been in over her, which I can't even argue with that, but I'm gonna talk about the snubs later. Next person we got is A Boogie with the Hoodie. I don't know. I honestly don't even listen to his music like that, but a lot of people like him. Like he has a strong buzz. I really don't see the reason why people are actually mad about this. PNB Rock is another one that goes into that boat, you know, of just somebody that has a strong buzz and actually, you know what I'm saying, he's actually doing good music and people really fuck with his stuff. I've heard some of his stuff, you know what I'm saying. I'm only a fan of the song Selfish, which that was like his breakout single. The other person on this list is XXXTentacion. We already know he's probably the most standout person on this list because when he went to jail and basically that whole thing happened with Drake's Look at Me, that kind of he was already growing before he even went to jail, but with that Drake cosign, I feel like that just elevated his status or whatever. And I honestly feel like out of everybody on this list, he is the most deserving on this list, period. Playboy Cardi is another one. Playboy Cardi's been out for a minute, and I honestly think, like, for real, Playboy Cardi dropped a good mixtape that came out this year. I actually y'all know I made a video to it. And you know, he's had a buzz for a minute. I think he came out with like Fetty Wap in them or something like that. And I know he's, you know what I'm saying, people just know him based around the people that he hangs around. Because honestly, I ain't really know nothing about Playboy Cardi until I heard that mixtape or whatever. But as far as him, I just know he hangs around like the ASAP mob and stuff, and that kind of, you know, garners him a little attention or whatever. Then, you know, I don't know, it's like he kind of got his own unique flow or whatever. It kind of sounds like Lil Uzi verse a little bit, even though, you know what I'm saying, Playboy Cardi came out before Lil Uzi. But I don't know, Playboy Cardi, he should have been on this list probably last year or something. But I don't know, we're gonna talk about the last year's list too. Next person on the list is Maiden Toyo, whatever you want to say. Basically with him, you know, he had the Uber Everywhere song that came out last year. Everybody liked that song. He's released a couple mixtapes and he's grown a strong buzz. Like, a lot of people, I see this on Twitter, folks be talking about him and everything, talking about, you know what I'm saying, they like his music. I have no problem with this. Another person, Amine, he came out with the joint, you know, I forgot the name of the song, but I think, yeah, it's called Caroline. I don't understand, like, he's one of those people that made it on the list, you know what I'm saying, with one single, just like the other guy, Kyle, and even Ugly God. But back to Eminem, I mean, he came out with that one song or whatever, and you know, it just blew up. It was probably one of the biggest songs to come out last year. Other person on this list, Ugly God. Ugly God came out with Water. Water came out like at the beginning of last year, and like it's just something about him. He's like, I don't know, to me he's like a better version of Lil B or whatever. He makes, like, his raps are funny as hell, and he even went on record saying he doesn't really take rap serious, you know what I'm saying. I feel like he's basically just having fun. And if you look, he has a strong fan base. He has a very strong fan base for somebody that only has 20 songs on SoundCloud. I actually follow his SoundCloud, and he's supposed to be releasing his mixtape, what is called, the Booty Tape. It's supposed to be coming soon, and I can't wait for it. I'm just being real. Next artist on this list is Cap G. Cap G, he's been out for a minute. He actually follows me on Twitter, and I follow him too. I've listened to his music. You know, he's a pretty straight artist. I have no problem with him being on this list either. And you know, he's been at it for a minute. I think what made me, as far as like start paying attention to him, was he was on Dope. He was on the movie Dope, and he was in that scene or whatever, you know what I'm saying, with the dude with the money and shit, and like he had to slap him or something. But if you seen Dope, y'all know who I'm talking about, the Mexican looking dude. And the last person is Kyle. Kyle has been out for a minute too, but his breakout single was the I Spy song that had Lil Yachty on it. And he's another one of those artists that had, you know what I'm saying, one song that just basically put him over the top. So like basically, over like my opinion of this list, I have absolutely no problem with this list, because a lot of people are pissed off because, you know what I'm saying, they talking about, oh, you know what I'm saying, XXL, they're not, basically what everybody's saying is that, oh, this list sucks because none of these guys have any kind of skill or whatever. And I'm like, okay, what do y'all expect from XXL at this point? Basically, if it was up to me, people like Joyner Lucas would have been on there in 2015. Joyner Lucas is fire. Joyner Lucas is nice. He should have been on the list, but I mean, he doesn't have that buzz like these other artists on the list, which I hate to say it. You know, if he was on this list, he'll be the best rapper on here. But he doesn't have that buzz. He does have a buzz, but he doesn't have a buzz like the folks that's on this list. Now, as far as like the snubs or whatever, now it was plenty of people that could have went on this list. Black was one of them. He released the Free Black project last year, and basically folks been kind of calling him like a, I don't know, like a hooder version of Drake or whatever. He could have made the list. Young M.A. really should have made the list. I honestly feel like they actually tried to get in contact with Young M.A., asked her, you know what I'm saying, do you want to be like on the freshman list? And I feel like she actually denied it. And you know, she probably felt like she was too big. I mean, she has the one hit. She has the ooh hit or whatever. I mean, shit, that's one hit. But what else do you have? Which, I mean, I feel like she was deserving to be on this list. Another person, Rich the Kid. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like Rich the Kid's music like that. But he should have made the list probably last year. He has a huge following, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like the ship is sailed for him anyway. And besides, he's good where he's at. Another artist, Black Youngster. I'm not really a fan of Black Youngster's music like that, but he should have made the list, just like Wildfan Lucci. Those two guys, they have a nice cult following. I'm actually, you know what I'm saying, I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and like, those two people actually love their music for some reason. I don't really know. Black Youngster's funny as hell, and as far as like Wildfan Lucci, I can't get into him because that nigga be wailing over the damn song or whatever, and I can't stand this shit. But they would have been nice additions to the list. And like my final snub or whatever, no, actually not my final snub, because I got one more. But one of my snubs will probably be Famous Dex. A lot of people been saying, you know, a lot of people are actually angry that Famous Dex didn't make the list, which Famous Dex should have made. I think Famous Dex should have made the list last year or even the year before. The thing that I feel like they asked Famous Dex, like, do you want to be on the list? And I feel like he turned it down. I mean, shit. I mean, Famous Dex has a nice following, and I feel like Famous Dex low-key paved the way for some of these people that made it on the list last year. And my final snub on the list would probably have to be the guy T Grizzly. I haven't sat down and listened to T Grizzly's project, but I know a lot of people been raving about it for real. And far as like all the snubs on the list, he's probably like my favorite, because I've actually heard that First Day Out song, and that the guy went in, the nigga went in. He's nice, and I really need to sit down and listen to that mixtape or whatever. But all in all, man, as far as this list as an entirety, man, y'all, why are y'all mad? I mean, folks keep getting mad, saying, you know, that, oh, basically everybody thinks that the XXL list is based off skill. It's not. It's all about the guys, you know what I'm saying, that has a nice buzz, that's, you know, that's trying to, you know, that basically the folks that's coming up and shit. So I don't really understand like the hate on this list. This list to me is actually perfect. I mean, you can interchange these people with just about, you can interchange these people with basically the folks I named on my snub list, and it'll still be alright. But all in all, man, I have no problem with this list. This list is straight or whatever. I mean, I'm not really looking for like, you know, super lyrical content when I watch these cyphers or whatever. I'm just looking for folks, you know what I'm saying, that's having fun. Like even last year, you know what I'm saying, folks was like, oh my god, how come, you know, folks was basically tripping because, you know, the mumble rapper, it was basically the mumble rap cypher or whatever. You had Lil Yachty, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Denzel Curry. He's not a mumble rapper. Denzel Curry is actually he's a good artist and he has good lyrical ability. Anderson .Paak made it. He's definitely not a mumble rapper. He can rap and sing. He reminds me of the Atlanta artist I named Jid or whatever. And Lil Dicky can rap. Dicky's a nice rapper. And shit, it was some more people as far as mumble rapper. Lil Uzi Vert. And you know, Dave East is a phenomenal rapper. And Lil Herb should have been on the 2015 list with Lil Bibby. But I mean, basically all those people that made it on the list last year, they're still around. So basically, man, what the list is about, man, it's just folks that's coming up and, you know, who they feel like might be here in the future. But I don't know, I have nothing wrong with this list, you know what I'm saying? Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the little notification bell in the corner, and please comment, man. Let me know how y'all feel about this list. I feel like a lot of people hate this list, but I just want to hear y'all opinion. This was my opinion, though. But please, you know, like, subscribe, comment. This is T. Thank you.